The entire galaxy trembled at the mere mention of her name. Kendall, the Crimson Scourge, the destroyer of worlds. The warrior whose ship left nothing but ash and silence in its wake. 73 planets had fallen before her might. Entire civilizations had crumbled when her fleet appeared in their skies. She was death incarnate, wrapped in crimson armor that gleamed like freshly spilled blood. So when Roman heard the knock on his apartment door that Tuesday evening, he certainly didn't expect to find her standing there. He had been in the middle of making instant noodles, wearing his oldest sweatpants and a t-shirt with a faded pizza stain, when 3 measured knocks echoed through his tiny studio apartment. Through the peephole, he saw her 7 feet of terrifying alien warrior, her armor catching the dim hallway light, her 4 eyes glowing with an eerie purple luminescence, and her facial markings pulsing with what he could only assume was barely contained rage. Roman's hand froze on the doorknob, his heart hammered against his ribs. This was it. This was how humanity ended. Not with some grand space battle or diplomatic negotiation, but with the galaxy's most feared warrior showing up at apartment 3B in downtown Portland. The knock came again, more insistent this time. With trembling fingers, Roman opened the door. He tried to speak, but his voice came out as a pathetic squeak. Kendall looked down at him, her expression unreadable, her massive frame blocking out the hallway light entirely. "You are Roman Hayes." Her voice was deep, resonant, like thunder rolling across a metal plane. "Why?" Roman managed, gripping the door frame for support. Kendall's 4 eyes narrowed. She leaned forward, and Roman caught the scent of ozone and something else cinnamon. Her hand moved to her side, and Roman braced himself for whatever weapon she might draw. But instead, she pulled out something small, rectangular, and surprisingly mundane. A library card. "I need you to show me how this works," Kendall said, her terrible voice now carrying a note of what could only be described as frustration. "I have been attempting to borrow reading materials from your planetary information center for 3 rotations, and the automated guardian refuses to grant me access." Roman blinked once, twice. "I'm sorry, what?" "The library," Kendall repeated, her facial markings flickering with what he was now realizing might be embarrassment rather than rage. "I wish to obtain books. The machine says I need a valid library card and a PIN number. I defeated the armada of Kelthus Prime with strategic brilliance. I have conquered worlds, but this small plastic rectangle defeats me." Roman stared at the most feared being in the galaxy, who was currently holding a library card like it might explode at any moment. His brain struggled to process this absurdity. You want to check out books? Is that not the purpose of a library?" Kendall's tone suggested she thought he might be slow. "I have heard your species has accumulated great literary works. I wish to read them. Specifically, I am interested in your romance novels. My intelligence officers report they are quite popular." Roman's mouth opened and closed several times before words formed. "You destroyed the nebula colonies. You obliterated the moon of Arcturus 7. You made the Council of United Planets weep, and you want romance novels." Kendall's armor plates shifted, and Roman realized with growing astonishment that she was uncomfortable. "A warrior's life is solitary," she said quietly. "Between conquests, there is much time, much silence. I have heard your stories speak of connection, of emotion, of things I do not understand. I wish to learn." Roman found himself stepping back, gesturing her inside almost without thinking. Okay, this is happening. Come in, I guess. Don't destroy anything." Kendall had to duck considerably to fit through the doorframe. Her massive form made his already small apartment feel microscopic. She looked around with evident curiosity, her eyes fixing on his overflowing bookshelf in the corner. "You have many volumes," she observed, moving toward them with surprising grace. "You are a scholar." "I'm a high school English teacher," Roman said, still feeling like he'd fallen into some bizarre dream. "Look, about the library card, it's actually pretty simple. You just need to register online or go in person with an ID and proof of address." Kendall turned to him, her expression brightening in a way that was somehow more terrifying than her warrior scowl. "You can assist me with this. I mean, yeah, I guess. But I have to ask quiet. Why Portland? You could literally go anywhere in the universe." "Your planet was designated for conquest," Kendall admitted, settling carefully onto his couch, which groaned alarmingly under her weight. "I was orbiting, preparing my strategy. But then I intercepted your broadcasting signals. I heard your stories, saw your films, read samples of your literature, and I thought, perhaps there is more to existence than destruction." Roman slowly sat down in his desk chair, his abandoned noodles completely forgotten. "So you're not going to conquer us?" "I have grown weary of conquest," Kendall said, and for the first time, Roman heard genuine emotion in her voice. "I have taken so much, destroyed so many civilizations, but what have I gained? Empty victories, fearful subjects, no companionship, no understanding of what makes life worth living." She gestured to his bookshelf. "Your stories suggest there is more. Love, friendship, connection. I wish to understand these things." Roman found himself relaxing slightly. "And you think romance novels are going to teach you that?" "I must start somewhere." Kendall's facial markings pulsed with what might have been hope. "Will you help me?" not just with a library card, but with understanding. Roman looked at the galaxy's most feared warrior, sitting awkwardly on his sagging couch, holding a library card like it was a sacred artifact, seeking something she'd never found in all her conquests. He thought about all the students he'd taught over the years, all the people searching for meaning in stories and books. "All right," he said finally, standing up. "But first, we're going to need better snacks than instant noodles. You can't binge-read romance novels without proper snacks. It's a rule." Kendall's four eyes brightened with something that looked remarkably like joy. "I am prepared to learn your customs." As Roman grabbed his jacket and keys, preparing to take the galaxy's most terrifying warrior to the late-night grocery store, he couldn't help but smile. This was definitely going in his journal. Nobody was ever going to believe this story. But then again, the best stories were always the ones nobody believed.